Are you looking to produce a show at your elementary, middle, or high school, but you just don't have the means to build a set, provide costumes, or get a sound system, or all this extra stuff that goes into producing a show? Well, look no further. My name is Milner Martin, and I am with the Baillie Players. I am the son of Buren Martin, who is this guy right here. He started the company in 1981, and we have been working with hundreds of schools ever since we first started this program. Where am I right now? Well, we are actually in an old abandoned junior high school gymnasium located in Inman, South Carolina. My parents built an apartment in the front top half of it, and then this half stores all of our props, costumes, and everything else we need to produce a show at your school. Now, you may be wondering, what do we provide for your school in order to help you produce a show? Well, you better start taking notes. Now, when it comes to costumes, we basically have it all. You could be wearing a king costume, a princess dress, a breadcrumb costume, a snake. I'm telling you, you name it, we got it. We do all sorts of musicals, from Dracula to Hansel and Gretel to Alice in Wonderland, Red Riding Hood, and if you're an English teacher, we do even, some obscure things like the Ransom of Red Chief. Inside all of these totes right here, going all the way back, props. Props for all sorts of different shows. When it comes to sets, we usually put up a backdrop, and we'll put some fold-out walls, such as this Easy Bake Oven, for our pop parody musical of Hansel and Gretel. Now, they're so thin and collapsible that they can actually fit onto any performance space. We can make it huge and grand if you have to perform in a space like a gymnasium on the floor in front of the bleachers. We can collapse it down for a small stage in a cafetorium. Or if you do have an auditorium, we'll make your auditorium look absolutely beautiful with our hand-painted sets. So, now you understand what we provide, but you may not understand how we work. Well, what we will do is we do two different things. Number one is a 2-day residency. This means that you have a teacher or you have a reading coach, just about any other staff member at your school can direct your show. You are the director. But since we come in as producers, we'll provide your set, the costumes, the props, the sound system. We give you a Google Drive with the script and the music for your musical. All of that material stuff is included with your residency. We even do video work, and we'll produce DVDs by the evening show for your parents. The first day of a 2-day residency, we will come in a couple of months before your show, and we will do an acting workshop. Meaning we will block the show kids where to stand on stage, where to enter and exit, so that your director, or you as the director, can take notes on how the show kind of flows together. Then on the second day of our residency, we will bring everything in, the costumes, the sets, the props, everything in that morning on the day of the show. We'll do a dress rehearsal, and then normally after lunch, you do a performance for the school. And then at around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, you do a second performance for your families. The second option we do is a 4-day or a 5-day residency. That means we, the Baillie Players, are your directors. You don't need to take any staff members away from their class. All we need is a space to perform and some students to work with for the entire week. We'll audition your show, we will cast your show, we will rehearse your students, and then by the end of the week, you will be amazed. I promise you, it's amazing what these students can do in 1 week. On the last day of the 4 or the 5-day residency, we produce your show, and just like the 2-day, we do a show for the school and a show for the families. And it's just done in a week. Your students do it a week. That way, you can literally say, hey, break a leg, kid. Now, where did I put that broken leg? Oh, yeah, here it is. It's because a leg, and it's broken. Another concern you may have is, how many students can we work with? Well, some schools, they'll only have about 10 or 12 kids in a show. We can work with that. Or we can work with 25 kids or 70 kids. We've even had 115 kids in a show one time. It does not matter how many students you have in a show, we will make it work. And of course, there's the not so fun topic of how much does our residency cost? Well, starting August of 2023, our 2-day residency will cost $2,300. Our 4-day residency is $4,000, and our 5-day residency is $5,000. Luckily, we are partnered up with the ABC grants, South Carolina Department of Education, and you can also get a grant from the South Carolina Fine Arts Commission. A lot of our schools get grants from there. You may also want to use our program as a fundraiser. One of the fun things about us is we do not care if you sell tickets on the night of the show. Some schools even do a dinner theater, and they'll do an upcharge for like coffee dessert theater, or sell concessions to students during their school play. Whatever you want to do to afford to have us in, you are free to do that. All we do is charge a flat fee. No rules, there's no fees for printing out scripts. There's no fees for this, that, and the other. There are no extra fees. Everything is included with our flat price. Also, to directors who may be scared about maybe directing a show for the first time, maybe you're just an elementary school math teacher that wants to do a show for their kids. Don't worry, we are actually designed to be sort of an introduction to theater, if you would. So if you have no background in theater, we will not only teach your students how to perform a show, but we'll also teach you as the director to direct a show. We give you all of those basic steps to help you get started with a drama program at your school. There is also always a member of the Baillie Players on stage with your students, usually as a narrator. So if a student goes up on a line during the show, or they miss an entrance, or maybe they blow their solo and they completely forgot the lyrics, we are there to help. No show is absolutely perfect. It just doesn't exist, especially in children's theater. We are there to make sure that the show runs smooth. The only thing the director has to worry about is making sure students learn their lines, their music, and their blocking in between the times that we are there to help them with a 2-day residency. Also, you do not have to have a sound technician because another member of the Baillie Players is running the sound. And starting in spring of 2024, we will have a third Baillie Players member backstage as well to help with students, to help them remember their entrances and whatnot. So all you have to do is worry about directing the show. You don't have to worry about buying costumes, building a set. You don't have to worry about storing all of these items, buying all these different props. You don't even have to worry about recording your own show. We do all of that for you in our flat fee. You may be wondering how you choose shows through us. Well, we take a select amount of our shows out on tour each year, and you get to choose from those 5 or 6 shows depending on dates. So right now, we are touring the Nutcracker. It's 2022. We're doing the Nutcracker in December. Next spring, in January and February, we're touring Hansel and Gretel. And then in March through April-ish, we're doing Beauty and the Beast. I would also like to note that all of our shows are either original musicals or they're pop parody musicals. We do our own works. We do not use other theater companies' materials. Whatever we have on the upcoming tour is what your school gets to choose. Check out our website to see what shows are coming up in the 2023-24 semesters to see what shows your school can produce. So, if you are in South Carolina, Florida, North Carolina, or Georgia, we would love to come in and work with your schools. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.